Dear colleagues from media, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. We just issued a curtain raiser today. The Prime Minister, um, on invitation of His Excellency Mr. Ilham Aliyev, President of Azerbaijan, our Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has just left for an official visit to Azerbaijan to participate in the event marking the fifth anniversary of the Victory Day being commemorated in Baku. So we will follow the developments of the visit as they unfold. Let's begin with the roundup of other main activities of the week. First of all, let me give you an update on Istanbul talks. I understand you will all be anticipating this briefing. Yesterday, our talks with the Afghan Taliban regime commenced in Istanbul with the presence and participation of the mediators. Pakistan delegation has handed over its evidence-based, justified and logical demands to the mediators with singular aim to put an end to cross-border terrorism. The mediators fully endorsed Pakistan's stance on the basis of the evidence provided by our side and as well as by the tenets of international law and principles. The mediators are discussing Pakistan demands with Afghan Taliban delegation point by point. Any other information being circulated on the social media, particularly from Afghan handlers, Afghan accounts, is either pure speculation or a deliberate disinformation. We request that such false information may please be disregarded. And moving on to the visit of the President of Pakistan, Asif Ali Zardari, to Doha, which took place on 3rd to 6th November. He was there to participate in the World Summit for Social Development, hosted by the State of Qatar. The summit convened world leaders with the aim to rebuilding global efforts towards achieving the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, the SDG goals, and upon its conclusion, the summit adopted the Doha Political Declaration. In his important address to the summit, the President of Pakistan raised the Jammu and Kashmir dispute and the imperative of the realization of the right to self-determination of the Kashmiri people. The President underscored that people of the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir are facing Indian state-sponsored terrorism for decades. The President also called India for deliberately violating international law by breaching the Indus Water Treaty, describing it as a direct threat to regional stability and an act that deprives millions of Pakistanis of their right to water, which undermines Pakistan's sovereignty and endangers the livelihood of its people. The President also condemned the Israeli aggression against Palestine, and in other part of his address, he urged enhanced global cooperation aimed at achieving social justice, equality, human dignity, expansion of social protection, and emphasized the need for a fair, inclusive, and reformed global financial architecture to support social development, especially development of the global south. On the margins of the summit, the President held important meeting with various counterparts and world leaders, including His Highness the Emir of Qatar, His Excellency the Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Qatar, His Excellencies the President of Iraq and Tajikistan, the Vice President of China, and the UN Secretary General. At the invitation of the Turkish Foreign Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Senator Muhammad Ishaq Dar visited Istanbul on 3rd November 2025 to attend the coordination meeting of the Arab Islamic Foreign Minister. As you are aware, Pakistan is one of the 8 Arab Islamic countries part of the Gaza Peace Plan, and we have remained engaged with this initiative that led to the signing of the Gaza Peace Agreement in Sharm el-Sheikh. During the meeting, Deputy Prime Minister Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar, along with his Arab Islamic counterparts, deliberated on the way forward to Gaza Peace Plan to build sustainable peace there. The leaders jointly called for urgent humanitarian aid for Palestinians, condemned Israeli ceasefire violations, demanded Israel withdrawal from the occupied Palestinian territories, and emphasized the rebuilding of Gaza. Pakistan reaffirmed its principled stance for the establishment of an independent, viable, and contiguous state of Palestine based on pre-1967 border with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital, in line with the UN and OIC resolutions. Pakistan has been and will continue to be committed to effort to restore peace, justice, and dignity to the Palestinian people, as well as to ensure the realization of their right to self-determination. On the sidelines of the meeting, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister held a bilateral meeting with the Foreign Minister of Turkey. During the meeting, the ministers expressed satisfaction over the positive trajectory of Pakistan-Turkey bilateral relations and reaffirmed their shared commitment to deepen cooperation across political, economic, and defense spheres. Both sides agreed to continue working together on the issues of Palestine, especially establishing peace in Gaza. Both leaders reaffirmed the strong bonds of brotherhood and mutual respect that continue to underpin Pakistan-Turkey relations and agreed to maintain close coordination on regional and international. From Istanbul, on the 4th November, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar attended the launch of Pakistan's first Chromebook assembly line, a landmark step in advancing digital nation Pakistan. In his remarks, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister noted that these milestones reflect the vision and guidance of Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif, whose digital transformation agenda is now being realized through concrete initiatives and partnerships. After a productive telephone conversation last week, between the Deputy Prime Minister of Pakistan and the Foreign Minister of Canada, Honorable Anita Anand, a joint statement was issued reaffirming the strong and enduring ties between Pakistan and Canada. The statement highlighted the leaders' commitment to strengthen diplomatic and economic ties, including facilitation of export of Canadian canola to Pakistan, the on-track negotiations towards a foreign investment promotion and protection agreement, and cooperation on energy security and critical minerals. Ladies and gentlemen, on Wednesday, you must have noticed that the Indian media started flashing the false news that certain members of the Hindu community were denied entry into Pakistan. In our response, we categorically reject the unfounded and misleading allegations that members of a certain community, Hindu community, were denied entry into Pakistan. These claims are entirely baseless and represent yet another attempt by India to distort facts and politicize a matter that was purely administrative in nature. For record, Pakistan issued over 2,400 visas to the pilgrims from India, mostly our Sikh brothers and sisters, to participate in the celebration marking the birth anniversary of Baba Guru Nanak Dev Ji from 4th to 13th November 2025. On 4th November, a total of 1,933 pilgrims successfully crossed into Pakistan through the Atari-Wagah border. It is pertinent to note that approximately 300 pilgrims who were legitimate visa holders were denied entry by the Indian authorities from crossing over. The entire immigration process on the Pakistan side was smooth, orderly, and free of any hindrance. A few individuals were found to possess incomplete documents and were unable to provide satisfactory response to our immigration authorities. Consequently, they were requested to return to the Indian side in accordance with the shared procedures. Upon completion of their documents, these individuals will be allowed entry into Pakistan. To suggest that these individuals were denied entry on religious ground is completely inaccurate and mischievous. Pakistan has always welcomed pilgrims of all faiths to visit sacred religious sites under a well established and a facilitative framework. Any attempt to give this issue a communal or a political color is not only regrettable but also reflects the prejudicial mindset that increasingly dominate Indian government and media narratives. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, let us express our profound sadness at the devastating earthquake that struck northern Afghanistan and has claimed precious lives and caused widespread destructions. Our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families, to the people of Afghanistan, and we pray for swift recovery for those injured and affected. I conclude my weekly roundup, and the floor is now open for questions.